So you're doing better and better, and then suddenly everything just goes to crap. Like your emotional state has improved, you're showing up for yourself, you're feeling on top emotionally. And then one day it all just goes away and you can't work out why. Well, the thing is that in those moments we tend to convince ourselves that obviously we've lost our way. There's nothing we can do. We'll always get dragged back into the old pattern. And because it's still there, obviously we're failing. What's the point? To recognize that when we have a subconscious pattern that's been well trod, it never gets deleted. Oh God, in that case, what's the point? Let's recognize because it never gets deleted, on a bad day we'll be dragged back into it, but it doesn't mean that the work we've been doing doesn't count. We can get ourselves back on the wagon and continue to trod the new pathway that we're forming in our subconscious, the new neurological pattern where we can behave in a certain way by choice against our emotional draw. Now understand that because that familiar pattern is there in the past, when we are pushed emotionally, we'll tend to be drawn back emotionally because the subconscious language is emotion. Back to that old pattern. It's familiar, it's not helpful. But because we are drawn to what's familiar because we know we've survived it in the past, we'll get drawn back to it. But then if we are absolutely adamant that we're making new decisions here, it won't matter to us at all that we are put off by those emotions. We've made the choice. We're sticking to our guns. We're being strategic and disciplined and maintaining those choices. Not to say that it's not okay for us to make the mistakes and have a tough day. One thing that is inherent to us anxious types especially is that if we get it wrong, we're so self-deprecating that we feel as if we might as well give up. We're harder on ourselves than anyone else is. That comes from the pattern, usually because someone's been so hard on us every time we've gotten it wrong, that we're so self-aware of these errors when no one else is. Someone who loves you enough to recognize your entire character over a long period of time is never going to judge you based on one singular event. Why do we? Okay, let's just give ourselves a little break to get it wrong and recognize we're okay to get back on the wagon and try again until that new pattern that we're forming becomes deeper than the old one. And when the emotion begins to form around the new pattern, over and above the draw of the old one, we know we have succeeded in something amazing. Instead of being drawn back emotionally, because the subconscious language is emotion, to the old pattern, we're actually drawn more to the new one. That means we've formed a new subconscious language. We're actually communicating to ourselves internally in a way that's sustainable forever. We never have to worry about getting pulled back into the old one. Just be consistent. Be repetitious. Show up for yourself. Be disciplined. You'll get to that point where eventually your emotions do support the new decision and something miraculous happens. When we get the emotional support to the new behavior, then our body starts to fall in line. You know that our emotions really do support our body and our fatigue and our illness, but it also supports our health and our longevity. Provided we are good to ourselves, our emotions will then support good behavior. Our bodies will fall in line and give us the support we need to live as long as we need to do the things we need to do in this life. Be consistent. You'll eventually get that emotional support. Your body will fall in line. You'll thank yourself for it. Don't worry too much if you get it wrong. You're allowed to. Don't be too hard on yourself. Move forward.